Welcome back. In this section, you will learn logarithmic equation. Without wasting time, grab your writing material and let's begin. What is logarithmic equation? A logarithmic equation shows the relationship between indices and logarithms. It shows the relationship between indices and logarithms. That means indices and logarithm is related in a way. Indices and logarithm are like two sides of the same coin viewed from different directions. Indices or logarithms are the inverse of indices. Logarithms are the inverse of indices. Indices tells us the value of the power. That is to say, indices produce a number, the value of a number. While logarithm, discover the power that produces the value. Now, indices tells us the value to which, tells us the value of a number raised to a particular power. While logarithm discover the power to which a number is raised. That's why we say indices tells us the value of a power. Logarithm discover the power that produces the value. Logarithm produces what? Power. While indices produces what? The value to which the power is raised. Now, we are going to illustrate this relationship numerically. That is the relationship between indices and logarithm. Our indices tells us the value of the power, and logarithm, on the other hand, discover the power that produces the value. The power that produces the value. Now, take for instance, 2 raised to power 3 is equals to 8. Yes. But log 8 base 2 is equals to what? 3. Log 8 base 2 is equals to 3. The logarithm produces a power. The indices produces a value. Did you understand? 2 raised to power 3 is equals to 8. That is the value of 2 raised to power 3. Then log 8 base 2 is equals to 3, which is the value that produces for the power. Now, 10 raised to power 2 is equals to 100. 10 raised to power 2, the value is 100. And log 100 base 10 is equals to 2. Logarithm produces a power, while indices produces a value to which the power is raised. That is the relationship. Indices talk about the value, and logarithm produces for the power. Now, Logarithmic equation is always in this form. There is a format that we use in expressing the relationship between indices and logarithm. And the form is log x base p is equals to y. Log x base p is equals to y. Yes, log x base p is equals to y. Now, what is the value of x if the base is raised to power y? What will be the value of x if the base is raised to power y? That is the question here. The question, I repeat again, is what will be the value of x when the base p is raised to power y? Now, the value of x when the base is raised to power y is x is equals to p raised to power what? Y. X is equals to p raised to power y. P raised to power what? Y. That is the value of x when the base is raised to power p. X is equals to p raised to power what? Y. Now let us take example. Example 1. Evaluate log x base 2 is equals to 3. That is a question. Now, this question is asking us what will be the value of x when the base is raised to power what? 3. And the value of x when the base is raised to power 3 is s is equals to 2 raised to power 3. S is equals to 2 raised to power 3. And 2 raised to power 3 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is equals to what? 8. So when the base is raised to power 3, the value of x is 8. When the base is raised to power 3, the value of x is equals to what? 8. Now let's proceed. Now example 2. Example 2 is loading. Example 2. Let's wait for it to load. Good. Example 2 says solve log x base 5 is equals to what? 2. The same question, what will be the value of x when the base 5 is raised to 2? X is equals to 5 raised to power 2, and s is equals to 5 times 5, which is equals to what? 25. We are going to take more of example on this logarithmic equation to give us insight to much more difficult question that we will meet in the future. Example 3, express in index form log x base a plus log y base a is equals to 3. Now, what we are going to first of all take cognizance of is the product law of logarithm. To multiply to logarithm of the same base, to sum two logarithms of the same base, we multiply them. So it's going to be xy is equals to a raised to power 3. xy is equals to a raised to power 3. So it becomes log x times y is equals to a raised to power 3, and that is the answer. So example 4. Example 4 says if log 2x minus 1 base 3 is equals to 5, find the value of x. The same thing. Now, so if the base of 2x minus 1 is equals to 5, find the value of x. The same thing. 2x minus 1 is equals to 3 raised to power 5. 2x minus 1 is equals to 3 raised to power 5, and that is how we're going to go about it. So we begin. 2 raised to power 5, 2x minus 1 is equals to 3 raised to power what? 5. And 3 raised to power 5 is sending us 2x minus 1 is equals to 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That is 2x is equals plus minus 1 is equals to 2, 4, 3. At this point, we take like terms together. Going to x is equals to 2, 4, 3 plus 1. 2x now is equals to 2, 4, 4. Divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of x, and the coefficient of x there is 2. So it becomes 2x divided by 2 is equals to 244 divided by 2. It becomes x is equals to 1, 2, 2. S is equals to 1, 2, 2. Question 5. Question 5. Question 5 is loading. Question 5 is loading. Now, question 5. Question 5 says, solve log s base 3 plus log x minus 3 base 3 is equals to 1. And the same question we are asking is a question being asked here. What is the value of x plus log s minus 3 when the base is raised to 1? That is the same question, that is interpretation of it. So let's go. First of all, we know the product law of logarithm relate to how to add logarithm of the same base. So we take the product of the two logarithms and equate it to 1. Log x into x minus 2 is equal to 3 raised to power 1. That is x times s is s squared. X times minus 2 is minus 2x, and x times minus 3. Minus 3 raised to power 1 is equal to 0. 3. And because x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, because that plus s has to move to the other side. It becomes a trinomial. That's x squared minus 2s minus 3 is equal to 0 become a quadratic equation. So we are going to solve this quadratic equation. And the question that arises from this quadratic equation is the 3 there, minus 3, the last figure by the right is minus 3, and it is the product of equation. And the second figure from the right is minus 2s, and it is what? The sum. So the question here is, we are looking for 2 factors of 3 minus 3. When we multiply the 2 factors together, we have minus 3. And when we sum these 2 factors together, we have minus 2. So the 2 factors we will take now, we'll try them one after the other, but we are not going to waste time in trying. So let us assume that the 2 factor is 1 and what? 2. 1 plus 1 and minus 3. Now let us take the product. Plus 1 times minus 3 is equals to minus 3. What of the sum? Plus 1 minus 3 is equals to minus 2. That means plus 1 and minus 3 is the 2 factor that we are looking for. And this plus 1 and minus 3, we are going to use it to replace minus 2x. It's going to be in form of s squared plus x minus 2s minus 3 is equals to 0. As we have tested here, 1 plus minus 3 is equals to 2, and 1 times minus 3 is equals to minus 2. So we are replacing them in that equation because plus 1 and minus 3 is the correct factors, the 2 numbers that we will use to factorize the equation. Now it becomes s squared. We're going to have s squared plus x minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. And when we have that equation, it now becomes 4, and we are going to do factorization by grouping. That means we are going to write the equation to be s squared plus x minus 3x minus x is equals to 0. So we factorize the first group of equation, s squared plus x. X is common, so we bring it out. X then the other one minus 3 is common, bring it out. Minus 3 plus 3x plus 3. Then x divide s squared. We have x. We have x. Let's divide x. We have x. So we write down x. That x divides x, we have 1. And 3 into minus 3s, we have x plus 1. We now have x plus 1 in common, so we take one x plus 1 and we bring down the other one, x minus 3. So we now have x plus 1, x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now that means x plus 1 is equal to 0 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x plus 1 is equal to 0 is the same thing as s is equal to minus 1. And s minus 3 is equal to 0 is the same thing as s is equal to 3. So x is minus 1 or s is equal to 3. And we don't have negative log. So the correct answer is x is equal to what? 3. On this note, we come to the end of this tutorial. In our next tutorial, which is going to be in series of logarithm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6, we solve more examination questions. Do not forget to like our tutorial, share it, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for learning with us.